Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we will start with biology and we will do biological classification. This is the chapter number 2 that is given in the class 11th NCRT. So let's begin. I have made many other videos on biology and chemistry, so if you want to see them, do subscribe my channel. Okay, let's start. First of all, we will see what do you mean by biological classification. Classification means to classify different organisms in different groups on the basis of their similarities and differences. First of all, the first attempt that was given by Aristotle. Aristotle used the first attempt. He was the earliest to attempt a more scientific basis. Means he used simple morphological characters to classify plants into trees and shrubs. And and he classified animals on the basis that have red blood and that do not have red blood. Okay. Next, the very important question that comes from here in NEET examination is that who gave two kingdom classification? So two kingdom classification was given by Carolus Linnaeus. Very important name, Linnaeus. Carolus Linnaeus was the first to give the two kingdom classification. What he did basically, he classified the organisms into two groups that were basically plants and animals. Two groups, plants and animals. This system was accepted earlier, but then it did not distinguish between eukaryotic and prokaryotic cells. It did not distinguish between the various kind of cellular organization or evolutionary relationships between the organisms. It kept non-photosynthetic fungi with photosynthetic plants and eukaryotic animals. Eukaryotic animals were in the kingdom Animalia, but it also included prokaryotic algae like Chlamydomonas in that, which was not a correct way of classification. So after that, it was just dismissed for all. But after that, R.H. Whitaker in 1969 proposed five kingdom classification that was Monera, Protista, Fungi, Plantae, and Animalia. So now I will tell you the basis of classification, that on what basis he classified these kingdoms, these five groups of organisms. Number one, cell structure. That different organisms have different cell structure. They have cell wall made up of different materials. They have cell membrane different. Thallus organization. Thallus means body. So different body organization. Then mode of nutrition. Every organism have different mode, like autotrophic mode in plants, heterotrophic modes in animals, and mixotrophic as in case of some protist like euglena. Okay. Mode of nutrition, reproduction, based on reproduction. And last thing, phylogenetic relationships. What do you mean by phylogenetic relationships? Means the ancestry, means the organisms that are kept together in a specific group. They should have a common ancestor, means they should be linked by a common ancestor. This is called as evolutionary relationship. Okay. A most important question is that viruses and lichens were not classified by him. Means till date we don't have any group or any kingdom or any phylum that contains viruses. So basically there are only five groups, that is Monera, Protista, fungi, Plantae and Animalia. I will make the videos on each of the kingdom in detail, so you have to stay tuned to my channel for more videos. But there were some also disadvantages of these, like it united fungi and plants earlier. Earlier it united fungi that contain chitin in the cell. Also fungi had chitin, but plants contain cellulosic cell wall. Plants contain cellulosic cell wall. Cellulosic cell wall. So let us now see Kingdom Monera. We are going to start with Kingdom Monera in today's lecture. Okay. Monera basically contains bacteria, and we all know that bacteria are from everywhere, in soil, in air, in water, deep sea, hydrothermal vents, where there are temperatures up to 100 degrees Celsius or where there are temperature that goes to negative. So bacteria are the sole members of kingdom Monera. They are most abundant because they occur everywhere. Okay, so let us see the various shapes of bacteria. The shapes of bacteria are like cocci shape. First of all, let's make cocci shape. Cocci is spherical, like this. Next, we will see bacillus. Bacillus is rod shaped. Next, we will see spirillum, that is having flagella at the end. And next, we will see vibrio, that is a comma shaped. This is vibrio. So there are basically four shapes of bacteria that are found everywhere almost. That is cocci, means spherical, bacilli means rod shaped, spirali means spiral, and vibrio means comma shaped. These are given in the NCERT, so you can see the diagram from there. So bacterial structure is very simple, but there are very complex in the behavior. Okay. Bacteria show the most extensive metabolic diversity. This is very important line. It means there will be a question that most extensive. metabolic diversity is shown by. So it will be shown by only monera. Okay, so this is very important. Most of the bacteria are heterotrophic, but some are autotrophic also, but they use chemicals, not light. So they are called as chemoautotrophic. So let us begin with our first group of bacteria, that is archaebacteria. Archaebacteria. To understand any term in biology, we should know the meaning of that term. So what do you mean by archae? Archae means old. Bacteria is bacteria only. So archaebacteria are the most primitive groups of bacteria. Means they are found when there was not evaluation of earth. When the earth was not evolved, then these type of bacteria were survived. And there are certain groups of these bacteria, like archaebacteria is further divided into halophils. Halophils, halo means salt, phil means loving. So they live in extremely salty areas. Extremely salt areas. Next we are having thermoacidophils. Thermoacidophils live, survive in hot sulfur springs. That's why they are called as thermoacidophils. Okay. Archaebacteria. Now you may be thinking that why Archaebacteria was able to survive. So Archaebacteria was able to survive in these kind of harsh conditions also, because very important question, that Archaebacteria differs from the normal bacteria, from other bacteria, by having different cell wall structure. This is very important because in the options you will get different cell wall structure, different cell membrane structure. Okay, so you will be confused. So you have to remember that archaebacteria had different cell wall structure. Okay, next we are having methanogens. Archaebacteria is having another group that is called as methanogens. As the name signifies, methane. Methane ogens means methane generating bacteria. So they are found in the ruminants like cattle, cows, and buffaloes, and they are responsible for catalyzing the cellulose to release methane gas. And this methane gas is also called as gobar gas, which we use as a manure. So they are very important. So we have seen archaebacteria, biogas production, they also help in biogas production. So archaebacteria are the oldest type of bacteria, and there are three groups: halophils that are found in extremely salt conditions, thermoacidophils that are found in hot sulfur springs, methanogens that are found in cattle dung that is used for making gobar gas or biogas, or in the ruminants, gut of the ruminants, where they metabolize cellulose to convert it into the methane gas. And archaebacteria differ from other bacteria in cell wall structure. So this is all about archaebacteria. Okay. Now let us see eubacteria. Eu means true. Means they are the true bacteria. Okay, they are having rigid cell wall. If they are motile, they will be having flagella for movement. Okay. So, first of all, we will see cyanobacteria. Cyanobacteria are a very important group of bacteria. Cyanobacteria, or which is also called as a blue-green algae, but it is not an algae. So cyanobacteria contain chlorophyll A. Very important question. Cyanobacteria contain chlorophyll A, and chlorophyll A we all know is also present in plants. So they are also photosynthetic autotrophs. Okay, they are also photosynthetic autotrophs. Cyanobacteria, this you have to remember. Cyanobacteria can be unicellular, colonial, freshwater, and their colonies are generally surrounded by gelatinous sheath. Okay, some of the cyanobacteria are very specialized, and they can also fix atmospheric nitrogen in the nitrogen cycle, which we will learn later, like nostoc and anabina. Nostoc and anabina, remember these are very important. Nostoc and anabina, they contain a specialized cells which are called as heterocyst, which help them to fix atmospheric nitrogen, due to which plants are able to use the atmospheric nitrogen because they can't use the nitrogen gas that is present in the atmosphere. So these two cyanobacteria, or which are called as blue green algae, help in this process. They are filamentous. Okay, so heterocyst is a very important question. It is, I think, asked in NEET 2018 only, that nostoc and anabina has what kind of cells with the help of which they fix atmospheric nitrogen. So it is a very important question. Next, let us see chemosynthetic autotrophs. Chemosynthetic autotrophs. Chemosynthetic. Chemo means chemicals. Synthetic means production. Means they use inorganic chemicals for their food production. We have seen cyanobacteria, but they used light energy and they make their food by their own. But the chemosynthetic autotrophic bacteria, what they do, they take inorganic substances such as nitrates, nitrites, and ammonia, and they oxidize the inorganic substances like ammonia, nitrates, and nitrites, and ammonia, and then they, whatever the energy is released on oxidizing them, ATP, they use that energy to prepare their own food. Very important. So these all bacteria, the most important question you have to remember is that the chemosynthetic autotrophic bacteria take part in various cycles such as sulfur, phosphorus cycle, iron cycle, nitrogen cycle, because they oxidize inorganic nitrates, nitrites, inorganic compounds, inorganic chemicals to take the ATP. The ATP that is released from oxidizing them, they use in their production of their own food. So they are not using light, they are using chemicals. So they are called as chemosynthetic autotrophs. Now let us see the last group of bacteria, that is heterotrophic bacteria. Remember this point, that heterotrophic bacteria are the most abundant of all the bacteria. So this is the question for NEET examination, that what which group of bacteria is the most abundant of all the groups, that is heterotrophic bacteria. Okay, so they are important decomposers And the most important question is in their use. Like they are useful in making antibiotics. We all know that antibiotics are very important in today's life. And second use is that in making curd. And third use in fixing nitrogen fixation. So this you have to remember, their uses are very important and they are the most abundant group of all the bacteria that we have learned till now. Okay. So most important thing is now we will see reproduction. Bacteria reproduce asexually, and the most common method is binary fission. Means bacteria divides its body into two parts, two identical parts, which are daughter cells. Okay. So binary fission is the most important method for reproduction in bacteria. Okay. But under unfavorable condition, they do produce spores, and the spores fell and they give rise to new bacterium, but they are under only unfavorable condition. If a question comes in need that what is the most suitable or the most means most accepted method of reproduction by bacteria, that is binary fission. Okay, this is important. Now I will just summarize, and the most important uh, point from bacteria monera kingdom is mycoplasma. In NEET 2019 a question has come and it is repeated many a time. So you have to remember that mycoplasma are organisms that completely lack a cell wall. Most important point, that they lack a cell wall. They are the smallest living cells. And third point is they can survive without oxygen. Very important. Without oxygen. So these 3 points are very important and they cause many diseases in animals and plant. So mycoplasma are the smallest living cells. They can survive without oxygen and they do not have cell wall. And they are also called as PPLO, pluro pneumonia like organisms. Very important. Did you like today's lecture? If you like today's lecture, do share your views on in the comment section down below, and do like, share, subscribe to my channel, and also tell that what topic you find difficulties in. I will try to make the videos on that topic, and do comment below about your views on this video. Next lecture we will continue with kingdom protista. Thanks for watching.